welcome back to Clair lune from scratch. Okay, onward, upwards, we're now going on to measure 23. So let's go ahead and snip that out and get started on it. Okay. Here we go. You probably are noticing, hopefully by now, that there are a lot of similarities in this passage. We're seeing a lot of octaves in the right hand. We're also seeing a lot of jumping from an octave in the left hand to a series of chords. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and kind of preempt what we're going to do later on. I'm going to add the next measure to this measure. So let's go ahead and just put this, if you don't mind, we'll just move this over to the left side a little bit, okay? So let's go ahead and map out the notes over here. Let's go find this, all right? And if you recall, we're in the F clef zone over here and the G clef zone up there. Reminding us of that is F, okay? And then D or D flat, because we have those 4 or 5 flats. And again, there's another octave over here, okay? So that's the octave we have at this point. Now, let's go ahead and just take a look at the right hand, and you should recognize this by now. We've seen so many of these. Again, another octave, G flat, okay? And so let's just look at the octaves here. You can see these are all octaves if you follow your eye along. So let's go from here, G flat, here, very next ledger line up. It's an A flat, okay? Now, let's find this one. This is a little tricky, okay? A flat on this first ledger line, B flat on the space between, C in the next ledger line, D in the next space, and then E or E flat, okay? So that's a kind of a leap up here. Now, it's a little hard to see, but there are these ledger lines in here and in here also, okay? So, knowing that those ledger lines are in here, are there, 1, 2, so here's E flat, and actually, if you can see these two ledger lines, it's missing the third, so we know that it's going down to the D flat here. See that? Okay? And again, we're climbing down, less ledger lines, so we're climbing down the ladder, D, C, and then down to the B flat over here, okay? So let's just play the octave portion of the right hand without the middle notes. Okay, see how that works? G flat, A flat, big jump, E flat, D flat, B flat. Let's go ahead and add the inside notes over here, okay? Now, let's see if we can find those notes, okay? So from the G, let's just kind of go from the bottom, because we know that's a G flat since these are octaves. G flat, A, B flat, D flat, okay? So we have G flat, B flat, D flat, and then G flat over here. And then we have these notes over here. Let's go ahead and find those notes, okay? Starting from the G line over here, right? Great big dog fur, okay, great big dog fur, top line. That's a G or a G flat. Oh, we've seen that before, right? G flat, A flat, B flat, okay? So we have D flat, G flat, B flat, D flat over here, okay? So we have this chord and then this chord over here, and we're going to have different fingerings. For here, we're going to use 5, 3, 2, 1, okay? For this chord over here, we're going to use 5, 4, 2, 1. There are different shapes, okay? There's more distance from these first two to the top note, so we're going to use our third finger here. Here, there's more distance between these two notes, and these are much closer, so we're going to use a fourth finger. So 3 here and a 4 here. See how that works? So just a little bit of distinguishing kind of geometry here, okay? So let's do the right hand alone again, just so you can see how that all fits. Okay? And no need to overhold any of the chords. Just play them and the pedal will take care of holding, okay? Now, let's take a look at mapping out the left hand quickly, okay? And this is going to be kind of interesting because it doesn't fit our hands as closely as other things have, but we're still going to do this kind of division thing where I'm going to take these 3 in one position and then move to a new position for that one, okay? So I still kind of prefer using a 1, 2, and a 4 for this chord. And let's find that chord very quickly. After the F, G, skip the line, B flat, D flat over here, okay? So the top of that is D flat, okay? And you see the next note goes up to an A flat over here. We use the third finger. Take a look at how we're moving up here. A flat, B, C, this line, D. Now here's an E or E flat. We're going to use our thumb to move up here. So your thumb's going to have to move up a little bit, okay? All right? Now your thumb is going to be busy. New position, we're going to have to reset for this over here, Okay, so we had a 1 over here. Now let's take a look at these notes from E. Okay, I don't know if you can see this, but follow the ledger lines. There are a whole bunch of them here. E on this second one over here, F, G, so that's a G flat, A, B flat. Okay, so we're reaching up, climbing quite a high ladder here with these ledger lines, aren't we? Okay, B flat, G flat, and from the E we can see this is moving down to a D flat over here. Okay. Again, the fingerings we're going to use, let me just change the color so we can see that more clearly. 1, 2, 4, and then we move down to B flat over here. Okay. So let's show you how this all looks from this back here. Okay, ready? D flat, jump up. Now move to a new hand position. Okay, so that thumb's going to be a little busy there. Jump. Okay. So let's put the whole thing together, right hand and left hand. Here we go. Ready? And. Again, one option being you can pedal the whole measure through. If you want to have a more blended sound, it would sound like this. Okay. If you want a slightly cleaner sound, it's really up to you. Another option would be to change the pedal on this beat over here. Okay, so let me show you how that looks. Okay, so experiment, see which one you like. And I'll leave it up to you. Great. See you at the next lesson.